But I don't know, I've just had a lot of loads that were really rushed, and either I didn't have a trailer that wanted to cooperate, or it was nighttime, so you couldn't see what I'm going to do. But really what I want to hit, and I think it's going to be a series of 3 videos, is weighing the truck, and then setting your axle weight, sliding your tandems on the trailer, and sliding the 5th wheel on the truck. So I want to go over some nomenclature first, so that way you all know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to use my little Swift air pressure here for lack of a better demonstration tool. But the front tires on the truck are called your steers. These are called your drive axles. And then the very back ones on the trailer is the ones that everybody gets messed up. They're either you call them the tandems, the trolleys, or a lot of times the scale house will call them your trailer. But that's what they mean by your trailer weight. For California, maximum weight on your steers is 12,500 pounds. Other states are different. I've seen it as high as 20,000 pounds, and I could have sworn that I saw one state where it was 12,000 pounds, and that's what I go off. I go off the 12,000 pound mark, because you're also limited by the tires that you have on the truck. You cannot exceed their maximum weight limits as a single tire or as duals, because just because you put duals on, which is 2 tires side by side, it doesn't mean that automatically doubles the weight that it can carry. So you have to check with the specs on the tire there also. But good rule of thumb, you want to go, you want to set your maximum weight for 12,000 pounds, 12.5 if you absolutely have to. You go any more than that, and you roll over a scale house, you're going to get ticketed. Now, both on your drives, on your tandems, it's 34,000 pounds. Now, I'm talking, just like this, 18-wheeler. I'm not talking if you have 3 sets of axles on your tandem or on the truck, or if you have the little helper axles in between, or if the tandems is what's called a spread axle, where you can move your front tandem forward, partially up the trailer. That also changes the weight. So this is just your standard 18-wheeler. I'm not talking about dump truck, because like in California, the dump truck is exempt on the steer tires. If you don't believe me, look it up. You may have to show a cop on that one if you want to get out of it. But it's right there on DMV's page. I know, because I checked again right before I made this video, hence the laptop. So anyway, we're going to go over a process of scaling the truck. Let me go ahead and grab a scale ticket, and I'll walk you through it here. Okay, this is actually what a scale ticket looks like from a CAT scale. They have these at most of your major truck stops and a lot of your minor truck stops. These are a certified scale. If you go in and you get one of these, and then you go across the DOT scale, and DOT tries to say that you're overweight, you can show them this, and you may be able to get out of it as long as you didn't fuel, or have a long period of time, or make a stop between the time you got this and the time that you hit the DOT scale. So what happens is you roll into, say, Flying J or TA or Pilot or Loves, and you see the CAT symbol right there. You roll onto that. It's that's the actual scale, and you go up. And I wish I was at a truck stop that had a scale, but I'm not, and I don't want to put off making this video any longer. But you pretty much roll up on the scale, and each one of the scales has a set of 4 essentially squares that you put the truck on. And what you want to do, you want to have your steer tires on one square, your drives on the second square, and then depending on where your tandems are set, either have your tandems on the next square solely, or only on the very last square, which is 4 squares. What you don't want one wheel of your tandems on the 3rd square and one wheel on the 4th square, because what it'll do, it'll show that you have 2 separate axles back there. Like I was talking about the spread axle. So you want to make sure that one set of duals per square, and your steer tires on a 2nd square. Also, you want to make sure that you're not hanging off the side, and you haven't driven too far forward where your steer tires have gone off of it. and then what you do there, you'll see a little button that says push here. So you push there. Make sure to push hard, so that way it actually makes the the call to the scale house. And what they'll do, they'll come back and they'll say, which means first weigh, and you can never understand what they say. You just got to know what know what they're saying. They'll say first weigh, and you'll either say first weigh or reweigh. If it's your first time on the scale, you say first weigh, and then they'll ask what company, and of course I would put Swift. You put whatever company you're going for, Bob's Furniture Movers or whatever, and then they'll ask you for your truck number, and then you'll wait. Make sure that while you're doing this, you have the truck off and the brake set on the tractor, not the brake set on the trailer, because what you don't want is there to be any kind of a tension on the truck. You want a true weight of what the truck is. So just set the tractor brakes, which just sets your drives, and then don't bounce around in the truck. Just hang out right where you were pushing the button. Make sure you're on the truck though. You don't want to get off the truck to push the button, have them weigh it, and then hop back on the truck, because now if you're like me, you're 750 pounds heavier when you're in the truck. Not really, but you get the picture. And then it'll say go ahead and drive forward and park. That doesn't mean drive forward off the scale and park. That means go find a parking spot and park. And if I were you, I'd find a parking spot where you can park the truck straight, because in case you're overweight, it gives you a straight spot to move the axles. Now, if this is your second time on the scale, you'll drive on the scale, do everything like the first time, and you push the button that'll, which means first weigh or reweigh, and you'll say reweigh, and they'll ask for your numbers, which those are your numbers right there, and then they'll go ahead and weigh the truck. They'll tell you go park it, and inside you go. Now, these are the important numbers that you get. This is the trip I'm on right now. This isn't a very heavy load, but this load says that it was just over 30,000 pounds. I'm a fairly cautious driver, so if my bill of lading says that my load weighs 27,000 pounds or up, I'll get me a scale ticket. They're $9, and almost any trucking company, when you submit your bill of lading and your trip pack, that they will reimburse you for it. If they don't reimburse you for it, you probably need to find a different company. This one said it was 30,000 pounds, where I know my truck in an empty trailer weighs 35,000 pounds and some change. But any less than 27,000 pounds, no matter how they load that trailer, pretty much, I mean, they'd have to load cannonballs in the very front of it, 30,000 pounds to put you overweight. But they pretty much can't mess up and get your axle weight over. Now, what I mean by axle weight is if you see the, here it says your axle and gives you how much. There's your steers. I'm 10.7, then my drive axle is 24.8, and my trailer axle is 27. So I'm legal there, and then the gross weight 63. So I'm under 12.5, I'm under 34, and I'm under 80,000 pounds. You can be a maximum of 80,000 pounds without a permit. And that's pretty much what you're looking for. They'll sign it there in front of you, and now you've got yourself a certified scale slip. I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple that aren't legal, so that way you can see what they look like.